Welcome to Italy, welcome on Video Music, and after a while, a brand new album. What happened in between? I mean, a lot of things, right? Talking to you.
What happened when?
Between this new album and the last one, I mean, it's wild.
Between this and Decade?
Yeah.
It's been what, 2 years, 2.5 years?
Yeah.
We got together with John. John was in the band for a year. We wrote songs, got to know each other. You know, that was a real important time. And then we recorded the album. We recorded 24 songs.
24 songs?
Yeah, in 11 months. And now we're here.
Ho scoperto che sono persone, almeno io ho parlato soprattutto con Corabi, ho scoperto che è una persona veramente grandiosa, anche Nick, beh, Tommy, Nick è fantastico, non parla mai, cioè è assurdo, quell'uomo è fantastico.
Sono d'accordo con lei, è una realtà, non è un sogno.
Now, how did you get in touch? How did you find John? Oh, John, how did we were found by?
Guys. Nikki did an interview in Rolling Stone magazine in America, and in the magazine, I guess they asked him what were some of the new bands he was listening to, and he mentioned the Scream. I was on tour at the time, and came back to Los Angeles towards the end of the tour, and I called up their management office to thank them for the plug. And I left my phone number and everything, and I didn't even think he'd call me back, and then about 2 days later, 3 days later, something like that, he called back and just told me that they were looking for a singer. They didn't have a singer. He wanted to know if I'd come down and jam with them. Here I am.
Penso molto bene di questo cantante, l'ho conosciuto molto alla conferenza stampa e penso che abbia una buona impronta sul gruppo musicale, che è sicuramente una svolta, poco ma sicuro, ma noi li seguiamo comunque, spero anche voi.
What are your first impressions being in a band like Motley Crue after 1.5 years?
Well,
with an album done.
It's been pretty wild, you know. I mean, it's weird. I was just telling Tommy last night, you know, to go from one extreme to the other, you know, it's like kind of a Cinderella story, you know. I mean, 2 years ago I couldn't get anybody to spit on me if I was on fire, you know, and now I'm doing like interviews and different things like this in Italy and Paris, Spain, you know, so it's pretty interesting.
about this new album. It's, I mean, I've only heard it once on tape.
The one song or the whole
No,
album?
no, the whole album once. And but this first version is much harder and probably stronger than the last one. Is it the right impression? What you were searching for? What you wanted to give?
I think we definitely did what we wanted to do. We, like I said, we recorded 24 songs. We had a lot of different options musically. We could have made it a softer album, could have made it a moodier album, could have made it a even more aggressive album if we wanted. Our goal was to have a very versatile musical, listening experience from beginning to end, and to throw some strange things in there, weird endings, interesting crossfades. We wanted to make it fun to listen to for a long time.
I found this kind of thing, this strange sounds at the beginning and at the ends of the songs.
Yeah.
A few songs tied up
Yes.
with one song falling into the other, and I don't know, some kind of Eastern influences and sounds, and a little bit of Beatles referrings. Is it?
Yeah.
Sure. And a lot of the tones we actually developed them through layering of different instruments. We used computers. Took like the beginning of Welcome to the Numb is feedback from the end of Welcome to the Numb, but we put it in a computer and we turned the sound around backwards, and we chopped pieces out of it so that it's making this like weird jumping sound, and then it starts the song. That's the kind of stuff using technology with just plain, abrasive and aggressive playing, you can really cross into another world.
There's someone says, talking to some friends of mine, someone says that it's on a medium, and some say that it's almost a sort of back to the beginnings, to the spirit of the beginnings. Is it true for you or no?
Spirit of the band?
Of the beginning, yeah, the spirit of the
Motley?
real, yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know if it's, I mean, it's hard to go back and do something that you've already done before, you know what I mean? So this Motley Crue is different, obviously different than their beginnings in a lot of ways. I mean, they're not 22, they're not, they're more mature than they were before. And I think as far as like a new beginning, there's a little bit of excitement with us. Tommy and the guys all get excited or whatever because I'm experiencing things for the first time.
Yeah.
So
Maybe
it
that's
kind
what
of
feels
makes it
like a new band.
right.
I mean, we like to think, sometimes we get, well, it doesn't sound anything like the past, and we're like, yeah. And then but people look at us like, why are you guys excited? Like they felt like we made a mistake by not making it sound like the past, and that was every intention. We did not want to sound like what we've done, because we already did that.
Yeah.
So for us, it feels like a brand new band. I mean, there was actually talk about changing the name of the band because we didn't want to have these conversations, But our record company's greed factor kicked in, and they do kind of got us for a few more contracts, so we were kind of... important part of this band is friendship. So there was 3 and there was 1. That's never going to be as powerful as 4. Never.
Sure. And talking about friendship, probably after a few years, it's not so easy to keep the relationship, the friendship alive. I'm thinking about a few bands that every member of the band leads a completely different life, and they probably even don't play together when they record. I mean, they record one in Bahamas, the other one in London. Or what's happening?
That does happen too.
Yeah.
I know guys like that. It's been a very important thing for this band since the beginning. I remember Vince always wanted his own dressing room, right? And I would never allow that. We all we all put all of our shit in the same room. We all get dressed together, hang out together. Before the show, we go on stage together. We walk off stage together. We hang out together. We travel together. We stay in the same hotel rooms, in the same hotels. You know, it's always been our way, our belief that the band needs to be a band. And I know bands, you know, I'm sure we all know them, that the lead singer's got his own dressing room, and I swear to God, that little tiny bit of separation, I mean, I remember Stephen Pearcy had his own dressing room, and I would walk into his room, and he'd be dogging on his band, and I'd walk into the guys in Rat's room, and they'd be dogging on him. It was so stupid. I was like, how can you guys go on stage together?
How can you play together?
How can you play together? You know, we sit down, we write the songs together. I mean, you know, it might be a song me and John come up with an idea together, but we go to rehearsal, and Tommy and John, John and Mick, me and Mick, whatever. It just doesn't matter because it all ends up being Motley Crue. But it's real important that we're a band.
Perché Motley Crue ti piacciono particolarmente?
Ma sì, sì e no, vanno un buon rock. Piacere.
Io sono cresciuto con i Motley Crue. Approvavo di più i Motley Crue di Vince Neil, però sono contento lo stesso.
Infatti la prossima domanda era senza Vince Neil.
Secondo me il mattone per i Motley Crue sarà sempre quello. Non so se venderanno come prima.
Famose gare da stivali, 3 settimane, mitiche.
Senti, un'impressione di loro dal vivo da vicino?
Visti, è troppo.
Lontanissimo.
Dovremmo crescere di qualche centimetro per vederlo. La voce era buona.
Poi si vedrà.
No disrespect to our past, no disrespect to Vince when I say this, but I always felt as the only lyricist in Motley Crue, before John came along, for the new formation, that I was writing for myself, or myself and Tommy and Mick, and I was writing for Vince. Things like Wild Side, you know, 5 Years Dead, On With the Show off the first album, Take Me to the Top, Shout at the Devil, Danger, that was for me. That's how I like to write things, that I see something, I write about it. If it's controversial, all the better. You know, I would rather attack something that is really, you know, has some meat and potatoes to it. On the other hand, Vince was always kind of the lead singer that wanted the chicks. He was more interested in the girls.
The life of it.
The life of it, which, you know, I don't think is a bad thing, but I have a lot more to say than that. I would rather sing a song that has to do with something that is going to move you, and then go back to my room and have an orgy. But I don't need to tell you about the orgy. That is what I choose to do in my off time, if it is. Or shoot drugs, or get in fights. But I don't know, I just think it's kind of cheap, you know? So, but it was hard. I mean, he was our lead singer. What was I going to do? Try to get him to sing things that he didn't believe in. So there was a, what would be the word? I don't know, trade-off or something, you know? It was a little for him, a little for us. Now, you can see where we've gone, and you can see where he's gone. All his stuff's about the chicks and the cars, and we've kind of gone in maybe, I don't know if it's a more serious direction, maybe a realer direction. And I'm really glad I don't have to do that anymore.
Sono sempre loro, cioè forse hanno acquistato qualcosa con un cantante nuovo. Penso di sì. La tua canzone preferita?
Allora, no, stai zitto. Anarchy in the USA, copiata dai mitici Sex Pistols!
We can say that this album, the lyrics themselves, it's more, in a way, more autobiographical than, in a way.
They've always
It doesn't
been.
necessarily have to be about, you know,
Your personal experiences.
right, it doesn't have to be, you know, for example, a song like Dropping Like Flies doesn't have to be something that happened to me. It could be something that I saw, you know what I mean? That made me go, oh, you know, what's going on here? You know what I mean? So it's not necessarily autobiographical, you know, what's the word?
Biographical.
Right, thank you. It's just, yeah, it's just life, you know,
That
the way we
that
say
was
it.
a role reversal, you realize.
Really?
Because usually, when we're writing lyrics, he's like, I actually get mad at him because he corrects my spelling, right? I got thrown out of school when I was 17. Thank you.
I wasn't far behind you.
You know what really works for us is reinvention and through. And what you need to do to reinvent yourself is to get lost and lose sight of what you were. When we're done with this album and this album's tour, you won't hear from us for probably minimum 2 years. Always. We're gone. And there's a quite a long period of time where we won't talk music. We just kind of write songs, experience life, whatever life is, you know, and things happen. I swear, things happen. If you just don't talk about it, let life happen, you find new experiences to write about. Wars come and go, depressions come and go, you have children, maybe you get divorced, maybe you get married, who knows. Things happen, and it moves you, and you write about it, and then you're excited to tell people about it, you know? And all of a sudden you look, and the next album comes out, and you go, look how much we've grown.
Yeah.
You know, and everybody senses it. They go, man, you guys have really changed. You know, but if we talked about it every single day, every time that we got a chance we did another interview, it wouldn't feel like growth.
What's that? Let me try this one. Let me try this one.
This actually, this just kind of has this.
Did you try this one on yet?
No, let me try that one.
No, I like it like that. Yeah. Do you want to get in more over the droogs or anything? Well, I might change things up for this, but I like the position where it is now. It's great.
The big box, big cardboard box. Guys, listen up, please.
So you're all together in this environment. and you're into each other. You're into each other. What's going on between you? Me and Mick.
Empty that out.
You need us with guitars?
Yes.
Okay. We need my Thunderbird and Mick's. What do you want for the cover, Mick?
Okay, here we go. Rolling playback.